Hi, Ms. Look, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. How are you today?
Just fine. And you?
Good, thank you. My name is Dusty. I'm the city clerk here. So I show your interviews at 6:30 today.
Yes. But I got your invitation to listen in on the actual meeting that you guys are having at 6. I do have a question for you.
Okay.
When I was looking at my application, I didn't realize that one of the requirements is you have to be a Campbell resident. And
Mhm.
I'm not a Campbell resident. I live in San Jose. I didn't see that when I was first looking at
At the posting.
yes.
Yeah. So one of the questions about your application specifically is the Historic Preservation Board allows for professionals in the historic preservation field, architects, people with certifications in preserving buildings and other types of artifacts. So there is a rule in the state law that allows those who are not City of Campbell residents to serve on this board, but they have to hold those professional designations.
Okay, I don't have any licensing. I've been in construction for 18 years and I've worked on historical um, projects, but not here in California. It was in Hawaii.
Okay.
So
So
I'm not sure whether I'm going to be actually qualified to serve on the board.
yeah, I think that might be a challenge for your application, if I'm honest, because it has to be a professional designation, and we're required by state law to report that to the state to show that we have those professional designations in place as part of
Ah,
the grant funding requirements. So, and, I think that's going to make your application very challenging, if I'm honest.
okay, then I don't really want to waste anybody's time. I mean, I'd still like to listen in on the meeting to see what you guys actually do,
Okay.
but are you able to let them know that then I don't want to waste anybody's time tonight? Um,
Yeah, I can let them know. So this isn't a historic preservation board meeting. This is just an interview process for the applicants who want to serve. So this isn't, I don't know if this meeting is really going to tell you a whole lot about it. But
oh,
yeah, this is just the interview process.
oh,
But I,
okay.
but I
And
can get your name and information over to the staff person who supports our historic preservation board. And that way, they can keep you apprised of the the schedule, the meeting schedule. And then you'll know, kind of learn what they do. I'm sure every city has something like this. So the city of San Jose may have something similar.
yeah, I was looking, I only saw the preservation for San Jose, that's the Pat Curia group. I've never, this one just popped up. I saw it, I guess, on Indeed or something I was looking at, and it
Oh,
popped up, and I didn't notice that you had to be a Campbell resident. And then when I was talking to, is that Andrea?
Andrea.
Yeah, I didn't notice this on the application. I asked her to send me the application, and when I was filling it out online, I didn't notice this until I printed it out. I went, "Oh my gosh, I'm not a Campbell resident."
Well, that's good for me to know. I should probably look at that application and see if I can improve it
Yeah,
so that it's more clear,
yeah.
more clear for
So,
people.
well, yeah, I just didn't happen to notice it, and then it wasn't on the posting either. So,
Okay,
um, that was kind of
I'll take a look at that and see if we can
yeah. So
fix
I
that for
thought
you.
I'd better let you guys know before I don't. I mean, I know um, some of them are volunteers, right? And I don't want to waste anybody's time. So why don't I pass then? If this meeting tonight is only to do the appointments, then yeah, I don't need to. Yeah, it would be great if you guys let me know when there are meetings. I'd like to just listen in. That would be cool for me.
Yeah, yeah, of course. I will. I'll send your information to our staff liaison who handles that. She's in
Okay.
our planning office. So yeah, I'll definitely do that.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate
Have
it.
a wonderful evening.
All right. You too. Be
It was
safe
nice
out
speaking to
there.
you. Yes, you too. All
Okay.
righty.
Yeah. Bye
Bye-bye.
bye.
Hello there. Hi, can you guys hear me?
I'm on mute. I'm here talking to you on mute.
Oh, I can hear you now.
Yeah, so my video's disabled.
Oh, that might be something I need to fix. There you go. You should be able to do it now. I see you now.
There we go.
Hi.
Hi, Ann.
So you guys will see me on here twice. That is a computer I have set up in the conference room in case we get any members of the public that want to join us. I'm not anticipating any, but just in case.
Just in case.
Just in case, I'm ready, in case they want to come by. And then I just was speaking to Miss Gail Look. She was the one we had questions about whether or not she met the qualifications. And we were talking about her professional experience, and she doesn't have any professional designations that would qualify her as that professional category that we were looking for. So she chose to withdraw her application. But I told her we would put her on our interested persons list in case something changes, and then send her information to the staff liaison for agendas and notifications and things like that. So so she removed her name from our list today.
What about the one gentleman that you said hadn't responded?
Yeah, Mr. Elliot Scozola. So his application was received quite a while ago, like more than 6 months ago, probably. Before we even really kind of opened the advertisement, he was kind of a lingering application from when it was originally posted, I think, the unexpected vacancy. And from what I understand, wasn't super eye-catching at the time. But he has not confirmed his appointment with us today. So we have him on this list as a placeholder just in case, and we invited him to the interview process, but he has not communicated with us at all. So we might have some awkward silences for a while those appointment times kind of run out, but after 5 minutes or so, if you guys want to call it quits, we can. I don't anticipate him joining us, to be honest. He hasn't confirmed.
So Mike is first.
Mike was first, and then Mr. Cordaway.
And those are potentially the only two then.
And we have 2 seats to fill. And Mr. Folks, I think
it's Folks.
Folks is the incumbent currently. So, but we don't have any prepared questions.
I joined late. What happened to the lady?
Oh, Miss Gail Look, she was has chosen to withdraw her application because she doesn't live within the city, but she also is not going to qualify for the professional designations. She said most of her experience came from Hawaii, but it's not a degree or a certification or anything that we could use to justify her in that non-resident professional category. So we're going to keep her on the interested persons list to make sure she gets agendas and things. She seems interested in this field. And actually, maybe I'll send her over to the museum too, so they can keep her apprised of their activities, because I think she's just interested, I think. So So she chose to remove her application. So we just have, I'm only expecting the 2 gentlemen this evening. And we're in a webinar format, but we're not live streaming on YouTube. So the public can join us via Zoom or they can come here, but we're not on YouTube. Planning Commission will be on YouTube about 6:30. If you're interested.
We tried to call that last applicant.
Mr. Elliot Scozola, we've tried contacting him multiple times, but no. And yes, and his voicemail box was full. So I couldn't leave a message and all I could send was an email. I'm really not anticipating.
Okay, Mike is on live now.
Yes.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi, Mike.
Hello.
Can you pronounce your last name for us?
It's
You're cutting in and out.
like people, like
You're cutting in and out.
folks at home. Yes. Oh, you know what? I apologize. Okay, let me.
So I'm gonna turn off my camera. I'll be back in the background if you guys need me.
Let me see if I can get a better spot. I am. Let me go outside. I'm actually at a fundraiser for Congressman Panetta, so I am apologize that I'm on my iPad, which our company makes, so that you would be able to. Is this better? I'm outside now.
So I was asking you to pronounce your last name.
Yeah, so it's folks like people.
Okay, that's what I thought.
So yeah, apologize. I'm at Carl Guardino's house, so I'm hiding in the on his porch to do this interview. So I appreciate the indulgence.
If you turn off your video camera, it might help it too. Sometimes.
No, he sounds better now.
Okay.
Okay, is that better? Yeah,
Yeah.
I've got 4 bars, so I feel we make this product, so I'm hoping that it would work well. So.
Okay. Anne, do you want to start and ask a question or?
Sure. Maybe just tell us a little bit about yourself. I don't think I've ever met you.
Sure. Yeah.
And then, your interest in wanting to reapply.
Yeah. So I've been in Campbell. I bought one of the old historic houses in Campbell in 2010. I spent the next 6 years restoring it. It was kind of a disaster. And I've always been a huge history buff. And Campbell, has such beautiful historic homes, and not just big fancy homes, but a whole lot of inventory that most cities don't have, right? I work at Apple in Cupertino. I'm on the historic preservation board there, and which is a nonprofit, and they have nothing to speak of. Campbell really has just jewels, everything from 1 bedroom, 1 bath to large mansions, and and for me it's a personal passion of mine. And so when I went on the board, the first thing we did was we rejiggered our charter. It was kind of, I was a new guy there, and it was going through it, and it went to council, and it didn't do very well. And it was clear there was a disconnect between the council and the board in terms of just priorities and focus and all of that. And so, for better or worse, they elected me chair, and I've really tried to push hard to do 2 things. One is, we have Mills Acts, which most cities don't have, or a lot of cities don't have. It's a huge value, huge resource for the city. Frankly, we get the county and the state to pay for our homeowners, maintaining and improving their historic homes. So that's something we're in the middle of pushing, a huge reform where we're going to be much better stewards of watching over those Mills Acts that we have. Hopefully you on the council will, after we go through all this exercise, provide more of them. And for me, and the board split on this, so we'll see how this comes out. But for me, I've looked at other cities, and they do it less of a winner and loser, where this house pays lower property tax for the rest of your life and this house doesn't. and more of a shorter term contract where you have a 10-year contract or a 15-year contract, and you basically are spending money restoring your house, fixing up your house. You're getting a tax break, but it ends so that then you can recycle that and give it to somebody else who can then do it. And for me, given the limited number of Mills Acts we have, that, if we can accomplish that, I think that would be tremendous. And again, there's different views on the board, which I respect. We have one member, as you know, so it's tough, just in terms of quorum, making sure everyone's there. But it's a really good group of people, and people who have been on for a long time, who have great history in the city, and people who don't. So for me, that's number one. And number two is really aligning with property owners. I don't want a burden to be having a historic house. I think right now in Campbell, there is a sense that you don't want to be on a registry, because then you're subject to all of our discretion and viewpoints. And I really want to turn that around and have it be a positive, where you want to be on the registry. There's benefits to being part of that, and you're proud of having a historic, right? Versus right now, where I think there's still a stigma where people feel it causes them more grief than benefit. So those are the two things I'm proud of working on now, and I would like to continue kind of to see those things through.
Good. Thank you.
And you're the one that's front door used to face towards San Tomas Expressway.
Right.
I remember
Yeah,
interviewing you.
Yes.
Yes, I interviewed you the first time.
Yeah, it's
so
backwards
you,
on the property. Yeah, so
Yeah.
now you drive in the cul-de-sac and you're looking at the back of the house. So it's very confusing for delivery people because they're not sure where to go.
Oh, I thought you put a new front door on.
No, in fact, I'm having an architect on Friday come to the house, because I'm looking, and he's the one who the city uses, to look at if we can re-landscape and redo things, because it is very confusing. I mean, it is hilarious now how, and it's a big old house, so it's hilarious now where you don't, like, if you have somebody visiting you have no idea what door they're going to. So you have to have different doorbells at different doors so you know when, which one to answer. So
Great. Okay, and so obviously you're up to speed on the Mills Act, and we granted the one extra.
Yes.
Yep, that was great.
yes,
We
thank
got
you for
11.
doing that. And that was a tough one because we had really good applicants, and I think that's my hope and goal is that if we really have high quality applicants, right, that the council is going to see the benefit to increasing it. But it's our job, frankly, to do a better job than we have in the past of just making sure that we're watching all this. I mean, what happened was, you guys probably know this, the resident has to send a report to the county every year talking about all the things they're doing. The city heretofore has not seen it, and the county basically puts it in the drawer and throws it away. It doesn't look at it all. So obviously now we're working on changing that to make sure that we have much more visibility, and I think that gives you as council members much more transparency into, okay, what is this program doing? What are they actually making these improvements, and are they the right improvements? We don't want to see people putting nice flowers in front of their house. We want to see them doing the hard work of replacing wooden windows, right, with something that a homeowner might want to have vinyl, but because they're getting a tax break, they're going to go the extra step and put the wood window in or have it restored, et cetera, right? So that's the goal, is to really give you guys all the ammunition to say, hey, this program's really, top of class.
So we don't have a way to verify they made the improvements?
So up until now, the county has done it. So with Daniel and the city staff, we're now requiring, we required everyone who has a Mills Act to give us basically all their receipts and data, because hypothetically they've been giving that to the county. And now going forward, every year they're going to have to give us a copy of that report. But before we got involved in this, it was just going to the county, and the city had no visibility.
And they had it for life.
Yeah, I mean, it's a 10-year contract. And the weird thing, and this is, I'm a lawyer, but it's hard for me to understand this. The day they send the contract out if we want to cancel it in 10 years, we have to send a notice of cancellation that first day. Otherwise it evergreens. So it's 10 years, but heretofore it's been forever. So what we're doing now is we're sending that courtesy letter saying, oh, by the way, your contract will expire in 10 years, just so the city has the leverage to not be forced to keep it going. The idea is not to scare people. If you're doing a good job, we want to continue, but the idea is that we want to have some control.
Great. Okay. Do you have any other questions, Anne?
No, I think I'm good.
Yeah, do you have any questions for us?
No, I just want to say thank you again for granting that extra Mills Act. And I really do think it's between the city staff and the council and our board, it's been really great. I think just to make things better communication, right? I mean, I do government affairs at Apple, so I work with government officials all the time. And I do think that in our, relatively small city, there's no need to have disconnect. So, for me, it really is trying to make sure that you see much more of what we're doing and the benefits, right? And vice versa, that we're also listening to you, that we're watching city council meetings, where we're reading the tea leaves, because I think that, that's so important in our town to make sure that things just, work really well. And that's something that I think, I think our board has embraced as we're much better together, right? Working on all this stuff than us in a little silo working on historic homes. So.
You're cutting out a little bit, but I got.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. I got the overall.
If I were at my house, I would have a bit of signal, but I know it's hard to schedule these, so I didn't want to reschedule. So I apologize.
No, that's fine. Well, I want to thank you for the work you've done so far. We will be making a decision tonight, and then it does go back to council, right, Anne?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then
I would say we're going to be making a recommendation to the council at the next council meeting. I believe it's on the next agenda.
Yeah.
okay,
Great.
as
Next Tuesday, the
stated.
16th. Yeah.
Okay.
Wonderful. Well, thank you
Great.
guys. Appreciate
Thanks.
the
Have
time.
enjoy where you're at.
Yeah.
Thanks, Mike.
I'll say hi to
Bye,
Congressman
Mike.
Panetta for you. All right. Bye, guys.
Bye. So Dusty, it is on this next Tuesday's meeting.
Yeah, I have a
Okay.
placeholder there for after this meeting. I'll fill in some of the gaps and be able to put it on there. So our next person is Mr. Cordaway, who's scheduled for 6:15. So it's just in a couple of minutes.
Do we have anybody participating?
No, we don't have anybody online with us, nobody in person. I was wondering if I was gonna get anybody to come to City Hall for the Planning Commission meeting.
Are
So-
there people showing up?
No, I haven't heard anybody. I left my phone number on the door since I'm, in my office, but no, I haven't heard any. And nobody's here.
But the planning commission is on in person, right?
No, not yet. They're virtual. So next Tuesday, you guys will decide again.
Okay, I forgot. I knew we extended the, that's right.
Yeah,
Is
they're
there-
virtual, but given council came in person, I just wasn't sure what to expect, right? I wasn't sure. So, but no, it's been pretty quiet. So then Mr. Cordaway will be kind of our final one then, I think, since Miss Look is not there. And I mean, we could stick around till 6:45 to see if Mr. Scazola pops in, but I really don't anticipate him since he
Do
hasn't.
you have his phone number to call him?
We tried multiple times and his voicemail is full and there's no answer.
I would assume he's not going to show up.
That's what I was thinking, since he hasn't communicated.
Oh, there we have Rob on.
Yeah. Looks like he's still connecting.
Looks like he's on. There he is.
Yeah, okay. Let me know if you guys need me.
Thanks, Dusty.
Hi, Rob. You're on mute.
There we go. I think I'd learned this mute unmute thing by now. I'm well. How are you?
Good. I'm Councilwoman Landry. I've been on the council 5 years now.
Excellent.
Councilmember Bybee, and I was elected in 2018. So I'm 3 years into it, almost 3.
Yeah, about a month short, right?
Yeah.
Pleasure to meet both of you. Oh, and full disclosure, I have this cat that just loves to, like, if I'm talking on a Zoom. So if you just see a cat just zoom right across, that's me. I apologize.
Okay.
So thank you for taking the time to speak with me this evening. I didn't know if how you wanted to do this, or so I'll just turn it over to you.
Okay, well, why don't you let us know why you're applying first, and then what your qualifications. We got a very short, well, your resume was long, but your description was a little short. So why don't you tell us why you want to do this and your qualifications or background?
Sure. Yeah, I've been employed in Silicon Valley now for a little over 20 years. Went to Santa Clara University, and I'm not an architect. I'm not a historian. I'm not, kind of what would fit that mold. I've mostly spent my career in banking, and I find myself, with some time on my hands currently, and looking to sort of, fill that up with worthwhile endeavors. And I've chatted with Sergio a couple of times, and I just mentioned that to him. If there's any opportunities to be helpful to the city of Campbell, I've been a resident here for 15 years now. Love to see what I can do. And then, quick aside, which kind of piqued my interest. I grew up in Southern California, a town called Arcadia. My parents, who raised us there, came from a town called South Pasadena. Now, if you've ever been to South Pasadena, in 2021, it looks like it did in the 1950s. And I always like going back to South Pasadena because, very old city, it's a time capsule. And when my parents were my age, the age I was back then, say 10, that's where they lived, and it looked just like how it did then. It looked now like it does then. And then the game changer was they made the movie Back to the Future, right? And Marnie goes back in time, and all of that's filmed in South Pasadena, right? And so it gave me this cool, like, oh, that's what it was like when my parents were in high school. That's their high school. And the reason I just bring that up is, history intrigues me. Always been especially like city histories, like small cities, and Campbell's got a whole heck of a lot of history. 140 designated landmarks. I think there's a lot of fun stuff here. And so when Sergio mentioned this particular subcommittee, I thought that's something that could be pretty interesting. So got an application, submitted it.
So is there anything in particular that stands out in the community that you like the most, or?
Because I did a quick jaunt around the Bay Area, after college, but then have settled here for the rest of that time. And so I thought I would try this. I saw on the map that there's a walking tour, right? I'm like, I had no idea there was a walking tour. And just going around and learning about these buildings that I've been driving around for years, and there's so much rich history here. And in the age of stacked homes, very dense places without neighborhoods, which Silicon Valley and the whole Bay Area is full of, this is an actual town. And I think that's kind of cool too. So doing the tour, learning more, that there is and it's more of a conspiracy theory that the fruit cocktail was invented in Campbell. Now, that seems like that's not a very novel concept, but if it was, I think that's pretty cool. But the agricultural history here, the canning history, and then this land going back hundreds of years before that with the Ohlone Indians and Native Americans, and so they there's a lot of fun history here that I think still may be untapped, but what we have identified is worth preserving.
How familiar are you with the architectural plans and reading drawings?
So I see there's been items posted. I don't have technical architectural education. I'm willing to offer, maybe what I lack in that, an abundance of mere curiosity and enthusiasm. But I can look at a set of drawings and figure it out. I can see if it, I know that's an important thing here, maintaining the structural integrity of historical landmarks. So I'm willing to learn. I've got the time.
Okay, and have you had any experience in serving on any other type of board or commission where you've kind of had to work with a group of other people, maybe not have the same opinion and kind of come to some consensus or difference of opinion?
And I did do student government my senior year in college and my senior year in high school. I'm not sure why I waited. That's kind of a weird way to do it. So I know how to be part of processes as far as sort of non-work related, democratic groups, maybe with a little bureaucracy. I'm part of a local church group, and it's fascinating to see see people trying to keep spiritual in environments like that. So I do have probably 5-10 years of experience in that realm. And then obviously work is work, but I do tend to be the type of guy that volunteers for a lot of different committees and whatnot.
Okay.
What year did you go to Santa Clara?
I graduated in 99.
I worked there from 97 to 2002.
Oh, well, I was there.
Yep. The Applied Ethics Building
Okay, very cool.
with the big boulder in the back.
Okay.
I'm a landscape architect also.
Oh,
That's why I asked what year you were there.
yep.
What part of Campbell do you live in?
So I live down Railway, right when it loops and turns into Kennedy at those the Avalon
Yep.
apartment complex.
So you're close to downtown.
Yeah, and it's amazing. This street, from here to the train station, and since I've been here for 15 years, the building's incredible. What they've done, and I think it's tactful. I think it looks good.
You're talking about the old train station.
Well, no, just the light rail station. So
Oh.
down Railway.
Yeah.
Sorry, I should point that way. Down Railway. Where the float therapy places. Just
Yeah.
all of these things that were industrial, like tin roof buildings. They got taken out, and did you know in doing that, one historic landmark in Campbell was gone forever. And if you
Yep.
look on the list of historical, yeah, if you look, so that list needs to be revised because you know, they put housing on both sides of the, like right next to the railroad tracks. And to do that, they removed what was known as the Quonset hut, which was like, I don't know if the guy lived there or if it was a meeting place, but it was in the shape of a Quonset hut made out of tin. And that's on the list. I saw it on the list, and that is no longer.
Oh, well, there you go. Have to update the list. Boy, I haven't heard that word Quonset hut in years.
And it's right. It's a stone's throw from from what is the current existing historic landmark on the street, which is it's known as the cannery workers lunch hall, and it's just, it looks like an old barn basically, and people now. So yeah, that's a fascinating.
Great. I don't have any more questions for you, Anne. Do you have any more?
No, I don't have any more questions.
Do you have any questions for us?
I just am curious, what is the hottest sort of activity, you know, going on with this subcommittee currently? Is it typically involving construction projects, or what's kind of the number one thing keeping people busy?
So this subcommittee is specific to just interviewing for the HPB.
Okay.
I think we have a couple other commissions, which is the HPB is a commission. So as a subcommittee, this is pretty much what we're doing. Anne corrected me on my last conversation is we will be going to council on Tuesday to let everybody know what the decision was made tonight. We have 2 openings, and one is, I know they both expire, I think in 2025, Anne, is that correct?
Yes.
4-year terms. Okay,
Thank you both for your time.
Thank you.
Have a good
Nice-
evening.
Nice
thank
meeting you.
you.
You
Bye,
as well.
bye, Rob. Thank you.
Bye.
Okay, just us.
So what do you think, Anne?
Well, I would recommend that we reappoint Mike, Mike Folks. And I like Rob. I think he's would bring a different perspective to the board. And I was impressed that he did the walking tour. And he knows a little bit about the history. So I think he's going to learn a lot more.
I was
For that
very
group.
impressed. Yes, yes, I agree with you. I read his resume, and I gleaned the part about the Ohlone Indians, and I thought, okay, where did he find that from? The Rinconada map goes back a couple hundred years, but I thought it was cool that he went on the walking tour, that he knew the history of the Quonset hut, that you know where he lives. He kind of heard, you know, knew about the cannery place where they have lunch, and it just shows interest. And I
Yeah.
agree that it brings a different perspective,
Mhm.
and he's willing to learn. So I would appoint them both.
Yeah, I would recommend both.
Okay, Dusty, what else do we need to do?
I think that's it. Ms. Lip is not going to join us, and I don't believe Mr. Scozola will either. So I think we're it. And I will finish up the staff report, and it'll be ready for you guys on Tuesday.
Okay, and we don't make an announcement to them until Tuesday or Wednesday, right?
Yeah, on Tuesday, we'll reach out to the candidates and tell them what, you know, what the official appointment is, and then we'll go through the whole orientation with their oath of office.
You mean Wednesday?
Yeah, Wednesday.
Yeah.
Sorry, Wednesday.
You're gonna call them at midnight?
No, midnight. No midnight more. No more midnight meetings, ladies.
So,
And then there's some training involved with them, right?
With the HPB board, I'll have to ask the staff liaison. I don't know what they go through. I mean, obviously they'll have their Brown Act training, and they'll do some orientations and things, but I don't know about topic specific.
So we don't have like on the planning commission where they have to attend a conference?
I don't think that applies to historic preservation. I think that's just planning.
Okay,
but I think that staff liaison, and usually the chair kind of meet with the new people and
Do an orientation.
commission and the procedures.
Okay. Well, I know we've, I think we partnered, when we just did the appointments for CIC, we did partner on their orientation process, and that's where we gave them their oath of office, explain the Form 700, you know, the other forms they have to fill out for us, but statement of values and things like that we have to go over. But I don't know about formal topic, you know, historic preservation training. I'm not sure what's available. I'll have to ask them about that.
They have huge conferences, or they used to, and there's all kinds of educational stuff through the HPB or through the regional and national historic boards. So
Yeah.
no, I was very impressed. I saw the enthusiasm, and that's really what we want. The fact that he did the tour, that he did his homework, and that's what we want.
New face, fresh perspective from a resident. That's nice. It's a new resident.
Yeah, exactly.
It's good. Okay.
So will you be around for another 15 minutes just in case Elliot chimes in, or?
Yeah, I can stay around for a little bit. I
just
have something I have to
hate.
finish up. Do you guys want to hang out for 15
Well,
minutes?
I was gonna say, if you want to text us. or
Okay.
text- I don't know, are you available, Susan? I just would hate if he, I know that, you know, he should have responded and RSVP'd and confirmed.
Mm-hmm.
Hate that if he would not,
That we don't wait.
calls in that,
Okay. Yeah, no problem. I'll hang out. I have some finished things I got to finish up anyway. So I'll.
okay.
I'll-
Do you want,
And then
sorry, go ahead.
you could just text me.
Yeah, I will. Either way, so you know you're off the hook if you.
Are you okay with that, Susan, or?
Yeah, I was gonna say, should I just mute and turn my camera off and stay on here, or just log back in if he shows up?
I can do that too. I don't know. I feel better.
Yeah, I think that's appropriate. Okay, so I'm just gonna turn my camera off and my volume. And then if I see you pop up, Dusty, if you turn your camera off and I see you go live, then I'll log on or turn my camera on.
Okay. I'll text you too.
You don't mind, Dusty, doing that?
No, I got something I got to finish up anyway. So
Okay,
I will be here for a little while.
okay.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you, ladies.
Yep.
Well, it looks like he didn't join us, right?
My clock says he has a minute.
Okay.
Yeah. About 6:45. You guys want to wait a couple extra minutes?
Your clock says 6:45?
Yeah, my computer clock says 6:45.
Oh, wow. Did you guys experience the internet down last night?
At home, I think it did.
Yeah, Comcast went down, both on the internet, on the TV for a while. It was in the news this morning.
Yeah, it was at home. Our internet was a little glitchy. Everybody's complaining their device is disconnected. My children
Yeah.
don't know what to do with themselves when they don't have a device in their hand. So
I was in the middle of a TV show and it's getting to the end, and then the TV, it's like, wait, what happened? I want to know who
Yeah,
the
see.
person was.
Some adults are like that too, Dusty.
Yeah, look at me, yeah.
all right.
Okay.
Thank
I think we're
you.
good.
Thank you,
Thank you
ladies,
for-
very much.
I
Nice to
appreciate
see
it.
you guys. Bye.
Bye.
See you guys later.
Bye.